Imagine this. You're around 12 years old and you spend a lot of your day doing arts and crafts. And I remember when I was younger, one thing that I really enjoyed doing was making macrame bracelets, or better known as friendship bracelets using string. And you might think that, oh, now we're in college, why would I want to do this now? Well, now one, getting the materials is very affordable. You can get a whole pack of string for just about $4. And you need some duct tape or safety pins or whatever. The whole point of the safety pin or duct tape is just to anchor your bracelet when you're making it. So you can get creative with that. That has no specific requirement for how you need to do it. It can be in any way that you're comfortable. All right, so our first step is to choose out our string. And for the sake of time, I've already pre-cut our string for you guys, and I already told you at the beginning of the class period to pick 5 colors that you like the most. And in the future, if you are ever to make this bracelet, you just need to know that you want your length of one string to be about the length of your wingspan. A little bit shorter, but about the length of your wingspan. And those are how long the strings are today. And now that you guys all have your strings, our first step is to fold the strings in half. As you see in the steps, our first step was to gather materials, which we have already done, and our second step is to fold the strings in half. And after you fold the strings in half, our third step is to create a loop at the top. So you tie your strings at the top, and you should have a little loop at the top. And you're going to, for right now, you're going to use that loop as kind of an anchor. So take the piece of duct tape that you picked up earlier in the class period, and stick it onto the loop, and stick the loop onto the top of your desks. For the sake of easiness, that's what we're going to do today, but as I mentioned earlier, you can do anything to anchor your bracelet. The whole point of the duct tape is to just make sure that your bracelet stays flat on the ground, flat on your desk, or flat on wherever you're making your bracelet, so that it doesn't, so you don't lose your place when you're making your bracelet, or you don't so the strings don't mix together or anything like that. All right, now once our bracelets and our strings are in place, the next step is to put the strings in the order in which you would like to see them in your bracelet. So, for example, let's say if you are making the rainbow, then if you want to do the rainbow, you'd have to make sure that your colors are in a certain order. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Blue, purple. Purple is the 6th color, so we're not going to be using purple today, but if you were to make a rainbow, that's the order it would go in. Right, and so whatever order you want to see your bracelet be in, put the strings in that order, and let's get started. All right, so now this part is very important to make sure that your bracelet stays organized and neat throughout the entire process, because if you mess up the tying, you're going to have a few rows of colors that don't look the way that they're supposed to, and that's not good. So the first thing you want to do is the first color that you would like to see in your bracelet. That first row, you pick up with your dominant hand. So my dominant hand is my right one, so I'll be picking up with my right one. And the next following string, you hold in your non-dominant hand. So the next color I'll be holding in my left hand. And whatever color you want to see in the row right now is the one that you hold in your dominant hand, as I mentioned before. So make sure that's in your dominant hand. And whatever color's in your left hand or your non-dominant hand is the base color. So your lead color is the one that you actually want to see in your bracelet at the moment, and then your base color is whatever you're going to use to tie around. So now what you do is make a 4 over your base string, and then tie your lead string underneath and pull up. Make sure you pull up. Pulling up is very important to make sure that your bracelet stays organized and neat, and that there are no like loose holes or anything in your bracelet. Now make that 4 one more time and pull up. And at the top, you should see a small little circle of whatever color that you want to see in your bracelet. All right, once you've tied that twice, take whatever colors take whatever strings in your non-dominant hand and put it to the side. You are done with that now. Now the next following color. So you still have whatever color you had in your dominant hand, you still hold on to, and now whatever the next following string is, it now has become your new base string. Now make a 4 over that, pull out under, pull up. Make a 4, tie under, pull up. You are done with that base string, you put it to the side. and you go to the next space string, make a 4, tie under, pull up, make a 4, tie under, pull up, and you keep doing that until you get to the end of the row. And then once you get to the end of the row, whatever color is in your lead hand, you are now done with, and you can put that to the side. You no longer have to worry about that. And that is just a quick summary of how you make the bracelets. I know that today we only did one row, but for the sake of time we could only do one row. But this is how you would make your bracelet. Now you would just keep doing what you just did over and over and over again until you get the desired length. Your length, whatever the length of your wrist is, or your ankle, wherever you plan on wearing the bracelet is the length that you want your bracelet to be. So you have to make rows respective to however long you personally need them to be. And all in all, after you make the length of the bracelet as long as you want, you make a little bulb at the end. You just tie, you like make knots at a bunch of knots at the end, and you should get a little bulb. And then remember the little loop we made at the beginning of the bracelet? That little bulb is supposed to go in the bracelet as kind of a key and hole. That way you don't need to hold on to the bracelet forever, and that it can be taken off and put on at your leisure. Thank you. I hope this is something that you're able to use in the future.